Hi, my name is Rohit, and in today's video we are going to cover some basic programming questions related to the Python list. So when you are trying to develop your problem solving skills or when you are preparing for any Python interviews, data science or data analytics interviews, it's really important to solve the questions related to the Python list, because in the interview people might ask you simple questions and then you would have to solve those questions without using Google or without using any external help. So let's go through some questions. So our first question is, write a Python program to find second largest number in a list. So this is the list we have, and we have to write a program to find second largest number. So in this list, the largest number is 99 and the second largest is 88. So let's write a logic to find the second largest number. So maybe let's try to first find the largest number in this list. So what we can do is number is equal to max list1. So this would give us the largest number. So let's print it. So number is 99 that we are getting. Now we have to find the second largest number. So let's create a new list, list 2. And in that list, what we would do is we would consider only those numbers which are less than the largest number, that is 99. So for Z in list 1, so let's take Z for Z in list 1. If Z is less than number, and then print list 2. So if you see here, now we have created a new list, and in that new list we have taken all the elements except the largest element in the previous list. Now if we try to find the maximum element in this new list, that would be the second largest element in our original list. So let's do this, print. So if we run this, we would get 88, and 88 is the second largest element in our original list. So this is how we are able to solve the first question. Now let's move on to the second question. Now the second question that we have is, write a Python program to drop duplicate elements from list. So this is the list we have. So let's create a new list in which we would be storing non-duplicate values. And let's write a for loop on list 1. So for Z in list 1. And we would keep appending the values to the new list. So list2.append Z. And while appending the values, we have to make sure that we are not appending any duplicate value. So 99 and 20, these are coming twice in this particular list. So when we do the append operation, we have to make sure that we don't append the duplicate values. So let's add if condition on top of this. So if Z not in list 2. So we would do this append operation only if that particular number is not present in list 2. And then at the end, let's print the new list, print list 2. Now let's run this. Okay, semicolon is missing, the colon value. Let's run again. So if you say this now, in the original list we had 99 and 20, which was occurring twice, but using this logic we are able to drop the values. And the new list that we have created is having only unique values. So we have solved the second question as well. Now let's move on to the third question, which is a bit tricky. Now the third question that we have is, remove elements from list which are occurring 3 or more times consecutively, and we have to remove only the consecutive occurrences. So this is the list we have. Now in this list, number 5 is occurring 3 times consecutively. So we have to remove only these 3 consecutive occurrences of number 5 and not all the occurrences of number 5 in the list. Similarly, number 9 is occurring 4 times, so it is more than 3 times. So we should remove this. 10 is occurring 3 times, so it is occurring 3 times. We should remove this as well. Only the consecutive occurrences. Again, this 10 we shouldn't remove. So let's try to write a logic to solve this problem. So to remember which number is occurring consecutively, let's initiate a variable number and initiate it to none value. Then we also need counter to count how many times the particular value is coming consecutively, right? To decide whether to drop it or not. So let's create that counter as well. And then the third thing that we need is, let's create a new list in which we would be storing the values, so that we end up with a list where we have removed these consecutive occurrences. Okay, so for Z in list 1, let's append the value to our list 2, list2 dot append Z. Then in this, if number is equal to Z, so basically if we are getting the consecutive number, then we should increment the counter. So counter is equal to counter plus 1. And if this is not happening, if the consecutive number is not same as the previous one, then what we should do is, first of all, let's check whether the counter is now greater than or equal to 3. If yes, it means that till now we have arrived at number which is occurring 3 times or more in the list consecutively. So in this case, we would have to remove those consecutive occurrences from our new list, right? Because we are keeping on appending the numbers to our new list every time. But when this condition breaks of not getting the next number same as previous, it would come here. So here, first of all, we have to check whether we have some numbers now which are occurring consecutively, and let's remove it from our list 2, the new list that we are creating. So here what we can do is, list 2 is equal to list. So we can use slicing from the list 2, take all elements from the beginning till the length of list minus the counter and minus 1. So we have to add this minus 1 because when we, for example, arrive at this particular position at 6, right? So when we arrive at 6, the number equal to Z won't be satisfied because the number this time 5 and 6 are not equal. So that time we would come over here, and when we are slicing the list at the end, we have to end up with a list which is 1, 1, 2 and then 6. So this is what we want. And in list 2 at this point of time, these numbers we would have. So first of all, we are removing these last 4 numbers, and then we have to add again this last number because 6 is not the consecutive occurrence because it's different from 5. So for that, we have to do list 2 minus 1. So this would take the last element in our original list, which would be 6 in this case from the list 2. And then we are converting it to the list format because we want to add it to the list 2. Okay, so if counter is greater than 3, this is what we have to do. And then what we should also do is, we should set the counter back to 1, because if counter is say 2 now or 3, whatever it is, we have to set it back to 1. If it is greater than or equal to 3, it would go here, and then after that it would come here. We are setting counter back to 1 irrespective of its value, and here we are doing number is equal to Z. Because every time we iterate over a loop, next time we have to set the number equal to the current number in the list, and that is why we are able to do this comparison over here. Now let's try to run this and just see what we get. Okay. Okay, so let's do this. Right. So now if you see the new list that we have, right? In that new list, we are able to delete the consecutive occurrences of 5, but only the consecutive ones, not the ones which are occurring like 1 or 2 times. So you have to delete only when the number is occurring 3 or more times consecutively. So 5 is getting deleted, the 3 5 occurrences. Then the 4 occurrences of 9, they are getting deleted as well. But what is happening is the occurrences at the end of 10, which are occurring 3 times, those are not getting deleted. The reason being, when we are at the end of the loop, right, At that time, this condition would be true if number is equal to z. So when we are at this position, then 10 would be equal to 10. We would increment the counter and then we would come here, we would set number to z, but the for loop iteration has ended. So we would never go back to this condition and do the deletion operation. So what we have to do is, we have to add another logic here for making sure that if this consecutive occurrence is occurring at the end of the list, we are taking care of that as well. So let's copy this. Now this is at the end of the list, so we don't have to go ahead and add another element because the list is getting ended over here. So let's delete this. And we just have to take length of a list minus counter. So in this case, if counter is 3 and length of list is 10, we would take all the elements right from the beginning till this position, and then last 3 elements we would delete based on the value of a counter. And we should have a condition over here because we should do this operation only if the counter value is greater than equal to 3 at the end of loop. Okay, now let's see what we get. So if you see here, now the last 3 occurrences of 10, which were the consecutive occurrences, they are removed as well. So basically, if you compare this with the original list, let's try to copy this so that we can compare. So in this, we wanted to delete 5, 5, 5, that is deleted. Then we have everything 6, 6, 7, 8, 1, 1, again 5. Then these 4 9s we wanted to delete, those are deleted in our new list. Then 10, 12, 11, 11, 6, 6, this would remain as it is. And then last 3 occurrences, the consecutive occurrences of 10, those are deleted as well. So using this logic, we are able to solve a problem for deleting the consecutive occurrences of the number. That's it for today. Feel free to practice more questions related to the Python lists. Especially the third question which we solved in today's video. I would request you to solve that question yourself without referring the solution which I have shared. I am very sure that that is one of the tricky questions which might get asked in the interview. So keep coding in Python, keep practicing Python, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.